known as the Presidential Amnesty Program Vendors Union, our main intentions for this press briefing is to call for increased funding for the Presidential Amnesty Program. It is no longer news that in the year 2009, our then President, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, granted amnesty to ex-agitators of the Niger Delta region. This is to say the Presidential Amnesty Program has been in existence for 14 years. Over these years, the program has recorded many successes, although not without its challenges. The program has brought relative peace to the Niger Delta region, like you all agree with me, and Nigeria in general has recorded significant increase in the output of crude oil and gas exploration activities. As you all know, the PAP is a DDRO program and is in the reintegration phase. This is to say there have previously been successful disarmament and demobilization. Nonetheless, as earlier mentioned, the program has had its own fair share of challenges, which has mostly bordered around availability of funds to drive the mission and vision of the Presidential Amnesty Program. It is worthy of note that since the inception of the Presidential Amnesty Program, the budget allocated to running and management of the program has remained same. However, as we would all agree, the value of the Naira has significantly devalued since 2009. In 2009, the dollar to Naira exchange rate was about 145 Naira to a dollar, while today it is increased by over 700%. This is to say, as regards its budget, the Presidential Amnesty Program has become poorer despite the harsh economic realities being faced in its quest for success. The technical downsize of the PAP budget has become an impediment to the smooth running of the program and a cog in the wheel of its success. This is so because the PAP is in the reintegration phase, and this is the most expensive phase to administer, as it is involved building human capacity and repositioning ex-agitators for peaceful and sustainable livelihood. This is a sensitive phase of the program, as it will define the overall success of or failure of the program. For instance, to ensure the ex-agitators are impacted and impacted communities are well trained and prepared with pathway for self-sufficiency. The PAP over time engages our beneficiaries in onshore and offshore trainings, be it vocational or education. This requires funding, but the constraint of the budget size has been a challenge of all leadership. As earlier mentioned, the effect of the valued Naira has created an even bigger challenge to the program, as the program currently spends approximately five times more of its scarce resources per offshore training than it did in the past. As a union, we hereby draw the attention of the federal government to this challenge and urge for the immediate increase in the budget of the PAP, Presidential Amnesty Program, as the effect it will have in ensuring the PAP meets our objectives cannot be overemphasized. The difference between the success and failure of the PAP is largely hinged on the adequate funding of the program. Again, as a union, we have noticed a very worrisome trend that has technically hindered the performance of the leadership of the PAP and the significantly distorted and destabilized the PAP towards its smooth running with the aims of delivering on its mandate. You will agree with me that stability in leadership is a panacea for success. But with the PAP, the opposite has been the case in recent times. Looking at the last 8 years since the ascension of the office of President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammad Buhari, the PAP has had the following as administrators: Brigadier General Paul Boro, Professor Charles Dokubo, the interim committee set up by the then NSA General Mugono, Colonel Milan Dikyo, now Major General Barry Tariye Indomu, retired. This is to say, in less than 9 years, the PAP has had 5 different leaderships to steer the activities and bring needed success. It is a known fact that success cannot be achieved without stability and continuity of leadership. Again, as a union, we frown at the trend as it sets the program aback. The PAP is a special program, and its management requires in-depth knowledge that are mostly gotten with experience. Again, it is the opinion of the union that to get it right and ensure the success of the program, the leadership must have a definite tenure for leadership that is appropriate to tackle the challenges and yield desired dividends to the Niger Delta people and Nigeria at large. The instability in leadership has to a large extent destabilized the program and hindered the progress of the Niger Delta. For example, take a look at the educational scholarship scheme done by the PAP. You will see a negative trend that can be directly associated with the instability in leadership of the PAP. Usually, when a new administrator is employed, it takes a while to acclimatize and understand the workings of the PAP, after which it begins to roll out programs in line with the mandate of the program. This is exactly the case with the scholarship program. It is on record that mostly there is no educational scholarship deployment in the first year in office as they settle in. From the second year, they begin deployment. The amounts to waste of academic years for the people of Niger Delta who depends largely on the PAP to further their education, to mention but a few. As a union, we use this opportunity to call on the federal government to ensure that the appointments of the leadership are done on a sufficient tenure basis going forward. This will ensure leadership stability and will help yield the dividends for which the PAP was formed. In line with the above, as a union, we hereby call for the FGN to elongate the tenure of Major General Barry Indomu Tariye, retired, as he has spent just 1 year in office, and his renewal will continue the negative, and his removal will continue the negative trends we have mentioned. Already, he is in his 2nd year and has understood the program, and also is in the process of deploying students on scholarship for the 2024-2025 academic session. Any attempt to destabilize the current leadership is an attempt to further destabilize the Niger Delta region. As vendors, we are unpaid for contracts executed for many years. This is also down to the instability in leadership, as every leadership issues new contracts in line with their vision, while existing contracts are mostly discontinued, not paid, and all of that. The detriment of leadership instability over the years has become cancerous to the survival of the program. Thank you, and God bless you.
Our intervention as the vendor union is to see that the day-to-day running of the PAP, the program, is being carried out, and to see that it gets to the ends of the Niger Delta region, to every person. We say per capita, you understand? And of course, when contracts are being awarded, it is the duty or the rights of the vendors to carry out those contracts to the very end, to ensure that those contracts are carried out. And that is why, as a union, we are here to express, first of all, our gratitude to the presidency for awarding or for creating the PAP, and also for the program for also reaching out to the people of the region. But as it stands now, as a vendor union, we have come to realize that the allocation is being stretched thin, and so far we've only been able to cover around 20 to 25% of the youth or the restive youth or the agitators need. So that is the reason why we are calling for an increase of the allocation, knowing that the crash in the Naira has greatly affected us, the vendors, to carry out our duties. And also knowing that this allocation that is being stretched is no longer covering the purpose of the PAP. So that is why we are calling for the presidency to look into this, and also the extension of the tenure of the current administrator, which has greatly affected the program, due to the constant routine change of administrators, as mentioned by my colleague here. So I think our duty is to see that every person or every ex-agitator is affected according to the purpose of the creation of the agency. Thank you.